Hi there. Thank you for clicking on my Xtreme One Chunk Ironman. My name is MarcRS, and if you've never watched an Xtreme One Chunk Ironman, which I highly doubt, if you're here, you've probably already seen multiple Xtreme One Chunk Ironman. But if I'm your first, thank you for letting me be your first. But first, I do feel like we have to explain what are what is an Extreme One Chunk Ironman. So I guess the easiest thing to do is to start with what is a chunk. A chunk is a grid square map on the Gielinor map, and it consists of 64 tiles by 64. And according to certain rule sets, depending on how you play, you have to complete everything inside this chunk before you can move on. So if we look at a very famous painting made by Michelangelo about the creation of one chunk, we here have two of our Lord and Savior in the chunk community. And on the left, we have Alyx Bailey, who started the what we call today the vanilla one chunk Ironman, where he started in Lumbridge and he wanted to complete everything he could do in Lumbridge before moving on to a different chunk. And one of his highest skill that he had to make was there was a yew tree inside Lumbridge, so he had to chop a yew log and burn a yew log before he could move on. And then you have an even crazier man called Limpwurt, and he started the extreme one chunk Iron Man. And the difference that he implemented is that there are multiple things that Alyx did not do as a vanilla one chunk, such as there's the woodcutting tutor and the defense tutor that both have a skill cape available in Lumbridge. And he figured, well, if you have to do everything inside a chunk before moving on, you should also have to get 99 woodcutting and 99 defense, which he did solely in Lumbridge without ever leaving. And since then, we've had people like Verf, who have done an extreme one chunk locked in Zaya. We have Frey that did the same but in Canifis. We have people like Extreme Gnome that did it in Gnome Village. We have somebody like Josh is in Gaming who's doing his semi extreme one chunk Ironman. We have an even crazier guy called Happery. He's doing an ultimate one chunk, extreme one chunk Ironman, so he cannot use any banks. And we have the craziest of them all, Buzz RS, who is a supreme one chunk Ironman, which is even crazier. You have to get every single pet, cast every single magic spell, do every single prayer you can. So basically everything before you can move on. And he started in Falador, and guess what? He's still stuck there for now. But for me, as I said before, I'm only doing a uh, extreme one chunk Iron Man. I'm not crazy enough to do Supreme, at least not yet. And we're starting in good old Burthorpe, and I'll be following Limpurt's rule set. So now that we both know what an extreme one chunk Iron Man is, let's have a look at my ChunkPicker map. If you've never seen one of those, basically every single one chunk account uses these because it allows us to see all of our current chunk goals, chunk tasks that we have, and especially it allows us to start somewhere. I chose Burthorpe as my starting chunk, and it allows us to randomly pick or manually pick a new chunk. I will be randomly picking, so I have two options here. So if I roll number one, I'll go into the Warriors Guild, and the Warriors Guild implies 99 attack and 99 strength because the two NPCs that sell those two skill capes are located inside the Warriors Guild. It also means I need 60 defense to equip a Dragon Defender. Also means I have to get a curve bone from those Cyclops, which is a 1 in 5,000 drop rate. I should technically get it by the time I get 99 attack and 99 strength, but that would be if I roll number one. If I roll number two and head south, it is the start of Druidic's Ritual, which is the quest to start Herblore, to unlock the skill Herblore. And even if I get extremely lucky and end up getting also the Taverley Dungeon chunk, which are the only two chunks you need to complete the Druidic's Ritual quest and unlock Herblore, I actually don't have access to the only four items you need to do this quest, which are raw chicken, raw meat, or raw beef, raw rat meat, and raw bear meat, because the closest chickens are in Tangson's Coop, but I actually cannot go there until I finish Death Plateau, which I cannot do. The closest cow, I believe, is in the South Falador Farm or the Crafting Guild. The closest bear is roaming here north of Falador, and the closest rat is probably somewhere in Remington, maybe in the witch's house. So even though I might be able to start the quest, I won't be able to finish Druidic's Ritual, so I won't be able to unlock Herblore until quite a while. It also means that the 99 Herblore Cape will have to be backlogged because that's where the 99 Herblore Cape is. So if I ever do get all four meats, that also means I have to get 99 Herblore, which would probably be quite the grind. So hopefully we don't unlock it too soon. But yeah, it's mostly why I chose Burthorpe, because I thought the idea of starting and getting a Dragon Defender so early on and getting 99 attack, 99 strength from the get-go, which is very appealing and very interesting. So that's why I went Burthorpe. Now, if we go back and look more closely at what my current chunk goals are, we have 20 strength. Why 20 strength? Because I need to equip a Mithril Warhammer. I also need 20 defense to equip a Mithril Plate body. I also need 10 attack to equip what will be my best in slot in Black Claws. They are dropped by soldiers. These soldiers drop Black Claws. I also need to get a Slayer assignment from Turiel or Duriel. No, Turiel. I probably won't be able to do it because he'll most likely give me monkeys, birds, goblins, things I don't have access to in my chunk. So most likely I'll be locked out of Slayer for a while. I also need to start that plateau. I can do 2 steps of this quest. And I will also have to backlog a few things. I'll have to backlog 40 range because this archer here drops Green Dehide's Chap. But I actually don't have access to any way of training range. So although this soldier does drop black darts and black knives, they do require 10 range to equip, and I have no way of getting any range levels because I don't have access to a short bow, or at least the level 1 short bow, or any bronze or iron darts / knives. So I won't be able to gain any range XP, so I will have to backlog the 40 range. 2 other items I have to get: the Iron Dagger. That's the best in slot magic weapon because it does have +1 magic attack. And I also need to get a bronze med helm. That is technically my best range tank helmet. So once I get all of those, I'll be able to roll a new chunk. And the last exception being 55 Slayer, because I do have access to a Slayer shop, and he sells Slayer Staff, Slayer Leaf Bladed Spear, which both require 55 Slayer, which I obviously will probably be locked out of, so I won't be able to purchase those. So if I ever get a way of training Slayer, I'll have to come back and purchase the items I couldn't purchase while I was in Burthorpe. So lastly, before we start with the actual episode, I'd like to talk about the exception. Every single Xtreme One Chunk account has to have some exceptions. I try to have as few as possible, but I do have those meme drops. So if I ever unlock a chunk that has gem bags available, obviously it means that you have a chance to get an uncut onyx at 1 in 100 million. It's probably going to take 20 years to get, so that would be unrealistic. So meme drops are not chunk tasks. Secondary training XP, that's mostly for magic and prayer. So I don't have to get 43 prayer or 52 prayer for smite before I can leave Burthorpe. I will get it eventually for sure, but it's not a mandatory thing to do before I leave. Another thing is lamping. So there are baby implings and other implings that are roaming in my chunk every now and then. So I could lamp until I can barehand catch those. But that is just not mandatory. I don't have any access to Hunter, so I don't need to get a specific level through lamping before I can move on. And lastly, random events. So I'll do all of them, and I'll try to green log the collection log of random events. But if I don't get a stale baguette before I'm done here, I can still move on. It's not mandatory. So those are the exceptions. I might add more as I roll new chunks, but for now, these are the ones I can think of. So that's it for the intro. We can finally start the episode, and I hope you do enjoy the first episode. You will, however, notice that the sound quality might be slightly worse. I did get a new microphone to do this intro. I don't think the previous audio was that bad. It was fine, but now it's a bit elevated. So if you thought the audio was already bad, well, it's about to get slightly worse. I do apologize for that. Welcome to ChunkyThorpe, my Burthorpe locked Xtreme one-chunked Ironman. So far we selected our name, and as soon as I'm out of Tutorial Island, I'll give you more details about it. So now, before we go about any grinds, which will mostly be getting my set of Mithril armor, let's explore a bit and see what we have in Burthorpe. So we can go downstairs, we can use the bank, so we do have access to a bank, thankfully. However, we cannot do much here. We cannot get the Rogue's outfit because that requires 50 thieving. We cannot trade with this guy here because we would need 50 thieving and agility. so that does not work, but we do have access to a bank, so that's a major plus. Now if we go upstairs, obviously that's my main source of food, as you guys saw earlier. Here we have a few man and whatnot, panda, whatever. So that's nice, and we will get our first Slayer task. Like I said, most likely I will not be able to do this one for a while, but at least we'll get one. So what do we get? Let's see here. And that was 48 monkeys. I'm trying to think. Obviously, there are some in Karanja, in Musa Point here, and there's some in the cages in Artie. So yeah, that's probably one of the worst tasks I could have gone, but hey, maybe one day we'll be able to complete our first task and get a new one. We'll see. So I've been running around a little bit. Not much we can do. Again, there are a lot of NPCs like Panda and whatnot that are level 4, level 5. Unfortunately, I cannot pickpocket any of them, so thieving is currently locked until we have access to man or woman. And yeah, so let's start training on the dummies, which will help because I will have to kill a lot of NPCs, mostly these guys, until I have a decent enough stats to attack the soldiers and the guards and the Burthorpe castle to get my full Mithril. So for now, we will train attack like this until I think the cap is level 8, so I will see you when I've done a bit of training. So here's level 5 attack. So it's a good start. We can now equip steel, and I've just realized something. Imagine you're walking past here. Don't I look exactly the same as these soldiers attacking the dummies? So I just blend in perfectly with my full black outfit. Anyway, that being said, now we can get 3 more levels here. Unfortunately, we can only train attack on these dummies, but as soon as I'm level 8, at least I'll hit a bit more often and I'll be able to train strength and defense on some of the men and women out there. So here's level 8 attack. Now I can no longer get XP from the dummies, so I'll have to get my XP by other means, and I think one of my best bet is going to be Edberg. This level 4 here should be fairly easy to kill. Well, I say fairly easy. It will be a dead match, and obviously I'm an hardcore Ironman, so I'll try to keep my status for as long as possible. But yeah, those spears will come in handy because I probably will not be able to kill more than one at a time before needing to eat food. So we're about to get our first KC, although she is refusing to die, and as I said, it is not so easy to kill. I obviously already lost 6 HP and I only got 1 kill, so it's going to be a bit tedious, but for now I'll get a few levels on her and then I'll move to other NPCs that might start dropping items. Might get our first random event. Let's see if I'm able to get there. Gonna be a bit tedious with this chick attacking me. There we go. Let's go see Molly and I'll talk to you whenever I get my reward. Get in there. Holy, I don't think I've saw one of the twins move so much. There you go, unlucky. So I'm not sure what would actually be useful. I'm gonna assume I'm gonna get uncut gems, probably uncut rubies. Not that I can do anything with them, but they'll look good in the bank, I guess. So let's see what our first random event of the account is going to give us, and it's uncut sapphire actually, not that bad. So it has come to my attention that I was probably killing the wrong NPC. We have the same level 4 here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name, but she does drop at a 1 in 28, at a 1 out of 128 an Iron Dagger, and in 1 in 64 a Bronze Med Helm, which will be best in slot, surprisingly, but getting an Iron Dagger would be massive for now and will help a lot when I'll try to chase that Mithril Warhammer. So hopefully this misses here is fairly kind and we get a 1 in 128 drop. You know, times are rough when you have to flinch a level 4 But believe it or not, that's the first kill I've attempted, and I drank all my 13 beers, and I still could not kill her. So we'll flinch her a bit, and then we'll refill those beers and hopefully be able to kill one without having to flinch. And hopefully there's our first kill count. Well, I say kill count as if it's a boss. It kind of looks like a boss when it takes so much food to kill one of it. But yeah, hopefully, you never know. Maybe we get lucky. Well, this is awkward. Was supposed to be dead, but there we go. And our first drop is Bronze Bolt. I guess I could snuggle the Phoenix crossbow in my chunk. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think I will do it, but yes, you are able to snuggle a Phoenix crossbow in any chunk. It doesn't require to start the quest level off to get it. So I could technically use those bronze bolts, but I don't think I will, unless people convince me otherwise. But I don't feel like it's really appropriate to bring an item outside of your chunk. So for now, we'll keep those as a memento, but we will not be able to use them for quite a while. And here's level 5 strength. It's going pretty well so far. It does hit me a lot more than I'd like to, but now that I can hit 2s, it goes slightly faster, and I'll soon be 11 HP, which will help a little bit. Obviously I still have a lot of beers, and I think I've drunk probably around 75 beers so far, so I'm not sure how my character is still standing, but he's going strong, and let's try not to die. That's one of the main issues with using a 1 HP healing item such as beer, is that even though you're drinking it and you're eating it, it's still hitting you and you pretty much lose everything. So yeah, as you can see, it still takes a lot of food, beers, to kill a singular level 4, but our stats are getting there. I think I'll get probably 10 strength and then get a few defense levels, so I don't get hit quite as much. But yeah, and here's our very first hit point level. Feels slightly safer now that I have 11 HP rather than 10. So far we've killed 12 of this NPC. Haven't gone anything spectacular, but we're almost 7 strength, and I'll keep you updated. Turns out these Asgardian Ale actually heal for 2 hit points, so I mean it's going to cost a whole lot of my cast shack because there are 2 each, but I figured might as well treat myself to something nice. I think my guy is tired of drinking cheap beer, but he'll still have to drink a few with the few beer glasses we have left. So far, we are level 8 strength, 2 more levels to go, and then we'll train some defense. Hopefully we get either the bronze med helm or the iron dagger in the meantime. And we're about to get 9 strength. Reason I'm recording this is actually these Asgardian Ale actually only heal for 1 hit point, and I guess the wiki actually scammed me because it says 2 heals for 2 hit points for some reason, but oh well, I guess I'll stick with my 1 HP healing beers. And here's level 10 strength, level 9 combat as well. I'll now train a bit of defense, probably get it to 5 or 10, then alternate between the two. Hopefully until I get an iron dagger or a bronze med helm from this NPC. So far I've killed 24 of them, so way below the drop rate, but let's hope we get lucky. Well, I certainly was not expecting that. I just got level 3 defense, didn't even think about recording it, and it drops to an iron dagger, which is our best in slot until we can either get black weaponry or mithril weaponry, which is going to be in a long time because I still need to get those stats up. But yeah, fairly lucky. It's a 1 in 128 drop rate, and I got it after 28 kills, so quite happy with it. And yeah, we'll just keep training here until my stats are decent enough, and then we'll head to a different target that drops better items but attacks a lot higher. So here is 10 defense. We'll now switch to attack. We'll get 10 and then we'll probably focus a bit more on strength. And if you're wondering, I am now at 50 KC if we count this one, and still no bronze med helm, which is what we're currently chasing. And here's level 15 strength. So I have base 10 and 15 strength. I'll probably try to get 20 strength and then probably gonna get base 20. So far we have 89 kill count, still no bronze med helm. Hopefully we'll get it soon. And here's our best in slot helmet until I can afford the spiny helmet. So for now, bronze med helm is our best ranged helmet and our best melee helmet until we can afford a spiny helmet. So it took 110 kills to get it. Got a bit dry, but yeah, it's okay. I'll get all base 20 stats and I'll try to kill a guard or a soldier afterwards, see how it goes. For now, we'll just keep training on her until I get base 20. And here's our first count check / genie / book of knowledge. And as any good chunk locked Ironman, we will put them in Hunter for the time being until I find something better to put it on. And with this last kill, I will be base 20 attack, strength, and defense right away. And I ended up with 21 HP, almost 11 prayer. And if you were wondering, this is what the loot looks like. I killed almost 300 of them to get base 20. And now that I have base 20, I'll test my luck at the guards. Hopefully we get a Mithril Warhammer or some better equipment. So that'll be the goal. Okay, so that'll be our first attempt. I don't think there's a world where I managed to kill one without having to flinch, but I guess we'll see. It does have 40 HP against my 21, and I'm gonna assume it does 3 to 4 max hit, while mine is only 3. So, oh, never mind. I guess it's time for a count check. You know what time it is. It's free Hunter XP, and yeah, probably gonna have to flinch him. Yeah, I don't think it's feasible to kill these guys head on. So I'll be flinching, and hopefully we get the drop.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Well over 15 minutes, probably closer to 20 minutes. So that was pretty tedious. To be fair, my attack was lowered because I drank a lot of beers to regenerate my HP. But even when I was at full attack 2020, I was hitting mostly zeros. So we'll try to kill a few more, but if we remain this inaccurate, then I might have to go back to the bar and kill Panda a few more times. Probably get 30 attack, 30 strength. We'll see. Just got another kill flinching. I tried again with 22 attack and 25 strength. It actually went surprisingly well. I mean, it still took probably 6 or 8 minutes, but much better than the last kill. So I think it's pretty feasible now to not only train on these, but keep going until we get either a steel weaponry or Mithril weaponry to make things even faster. And here's a brand new best in slot. We got the Mithril plate body. It's going to help a ton with the defense. Although at 20, I don't think I can still face them head on, even with this massive addition. Although we were quite lucky. As you can see, we got it on our 4th KC. So hopefully we get this lucky for the Warhammers too. And on the very next skill that we do, we get another, or I guess 2 more kills. Let's see here. Yeah, we're now up to 6 KC and we have a second Mithril plate body. I guess it's going to be good GP. We can sell it and purchase some goodies with it, I guess. Okay, this is getting a bit out of hand. This is my 3rd Mithril plate body and I don't have such a high kill count. Let's see here. What's my kill count? I have 11 guards and 3 Mithril plate bodies. Mind you, this is a 1 in 32 drop, and I'm chasing a 1 in 21 drop for a Mithril Warhammer, or 1 in 16 for a Steel Warhammer, which would both be really useful because even a Steel Warhammer would make it much easier to flinch than with my Iron Dagger, but we carry on. I bet you wanted to see what the medium clue was. Well, I can't do it. Well, it was bound to happen eventually. Um, Let me show you exactly how I died because I managed to see it right as I died. Unfortunately, I was paying attention to another account, and yeah, so that happened. Um, yeah, and they all just saw it. Well, it's no big deal. Let's see here. Do I have anything to collect? Okay. Let me just leave and teleport away. Oh my god. It's the first time I've ever died on an art course, so didn't realize I had to go through all the dialogues. I don't think I have anything. Nope. Let's see, can I teleport? Nope. Well, let's go back and I'll quickly show you how I actually died. Um, Pretty simple case of man AFKs thinks he's safe and he's not. But you'll understand when you see it. So I was actually not flinching this guard. I decided that I wanted to get 30 strength and attack first to speed it up a little bit. And so I went back to Panda, my good old friend, and unfortunately I was half paying attention and I clicked on a soldier instead of him. And I didn't realize because I was on my second account doing some rune crafting, and next thing you know, you're dead. So don't do that. I guess Jagex wants to make me feel a little bit better and gave me a count check. I've actually changed my mind. I was usually putting them on Herblore, but I figured, you know, I have a Slayer Master and a Slayer shop nearby, so I think my best bet is to go with Slayer. And if anybody was curious as to how many hours I had played before I died, actually slightly under 12. So yeah, kind of ashamed to admit it, but I was hoping to keep my status a bit longer, but it was never the main point of this account, so I'm not too bummed out about it, but it would have been nice to see how long we could have kept it going, but unfortunately this soldier destroyed me. I should have done this from the start, change it so I cannot misclick, but I didn't think it would happen. I usually paid attention, and this time I didn't. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, obviously not ideal, but we move on. And here is 30 attack, also had 30 strength already, so now I feel like I should be way more accurate when fighting the guards. We'll still have to flinch, of course, because I'm 20 defense, but I should be a bit more accurate. And if you're curious on how long it took just to get base 30, that would be 500 KC, 550, and 675-ish. So I had to murder 775 civilians, give or take, to achieve 30 strength and 30 attack. Let's try to get that seal or Mithril Warhammer now. And would you look at this beauty? Finally got our Mithril Warhammer. Pretty lucky actually, if we look at the amount of kill count I have. It only took 16, so I can't really complain. And it's a big upgrade, especially for flinching. It's night and day compared to the Iron Dagger, so pretty stoked about it. I still need to get a Mithril full helm from this guy, and quickly we will look at my chunk tasks. So now that we have completed this, we still need to get the Mithril full helm from this guard, and we also need to get Black Claws from a soldier because, believe it or not, Black Claws actually have better DPS than a Mithril Warhammer. Obviously not for flinching, but for pure DPS because it's a 4-tick weapon and the Warhammer is a 6-tick weapon.
So hopefully I see you back when I get the Mithril Fulham. I might try my luck at the Black Claws because Mithril Fulham is a 1 in 128 drop, so it might take a while from the guard. But hopefully we get it soon and we get Spoon just like we got Spoon with 3 Mithril Plate bodies.
And with this drop, it marks the end of episode number 1. I know. I understand that maybe the last drop being a Mithril Warhammer sounds a bit lackluster, but I think you'll understand on episode 2 why I decided to end it here. And also, I didn't want it to be too long, but to compensate and mostly to celebrate episode number 1, I would like to give away a free bond to one of you guys. And I know not a lot of people are going to make it to the end, so you have a fairly good chance of winning. So just leave your RuneScape name in the comments below, and I'll randomly pick a winner in about a week's time when I roll a new chunk. I'll contact you in game or via YouTube comments. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And also, if you could leave any positive or even negative feedback, any feedback at all is greatly appreciated. You do not have to leave feedback for you to be eligible for the bond giveaway. Simply your username is enough. So yeah, any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I've earned your subscription for what will be many more episodes to come, hopefully. And I'll see you back in episode 2. Bye bye.